Mario Hub Worlds. They're one of the most memorable parts of each game because you spend so much time there running back and forth between levels. Long jumping across Peach's castle until you give Mario a fucking concussion. Hanging out with my brother Luigi in Delfino Plaza. Bowing before Rosalina on the Comet Observatory. Ooh, mama. All of this to say, I like Starship Mario, okay? I'm a freak, I know! But I need you to hear me out here, because this little spaceship represents so much more to me than you could ever realize, and it helps set the tone for the entirety of Mario Galaxy 2. Do I sound insane? Do I sound like I'm on some map hat shit right now? So I'm gonna put a timestamp on screen right now so you can skip ahead to the Starship Mario section if you'd like, because we're actually gonna go backwards first and talk about all of the other 3D Mario Hub worlds and how they work within their games. If you're still sticking with me, then let's go back to where it all began. This is an absolutely iconic location in the Mario series. Everybody knows, but it's interesting to think that this is where it started. This is the game that made it iconic. This castle is huge and can be extremely daunting to explore the first time you play the game. You never know what kind of things you're gonna come across. Look at the fishies.
Ah, shit. I never learned how to read a clock.
Hey Peach, there's a goddamn hole in your floor. Grade A architecture here. Oh yeah, sure, let's just jump through the brick wall like it's fucking platform 9 3/4. I'm gonna get the damn fish! And you know, it makes sense that this castle is so huge because that's what Mario 64 is. It was huge back then. I mean, this game was fucking sensory overload to those 90s kids. There's so much to do, so much to see, so what's wrong with taking the backstreet? The childlike wonder of discovering Dory for the first time. The anger you felt when the monkey stole your hat! No! It's just something you can't experience for the first time again. So yeah, it only makes sense that the castle itself is a huge sprawling labyrinth of doors and hallways. This game's gonna be huge, just like Taylor Swift's newest album, and they gotta make sure you know right off the bat. And I think with everything I just said, the castle really illustrates something that all of the Mario Hub worlds do, and that's that they're a very good representation of the game at large. Which, now that I say it out loud, yeah.
That makes sense, duh.
But I've never really thought about it that way before. And maybe you haven't either. Please tell me you haven't. I don't want to be the only stupid one. I also feel like this castle is one of the biggest catalysts for people finding Mario 64 so creepy because, level with me here, I know what I'm about to say is cringe. I'm aware, I know, but fucking look at it, it's a liminal space! It is! The castle is so creepy and lonely. Mario is alone. There's a fucking ghost. There's a picture of Satan on the wall. Look, today's youth, aka me, is convinced that Mario 64 is a horror game, and all I'm saying is I see the vision. I get where it comes from, alright? This place would make a banger Silent Hill map. You know, I wonder who this guy is. Like, this statue of some random pianta has just been here in the middle of town for years, and I've never really questioned it. Like, did he fight in Vietnam or something? He's got like a Shine Sprite medallion thing around his neck here. Maybe it's a purple heart or something, I don't know. This is just a lovely little community here. It's the exact opposite of Mario 64 because it's absolutely teeming with life, and that's the point. This is a tourist town, alright? This is where the white families of four go for vacation on the 4th of July, and then the locals get upset because they can't buy milk from the grocery store anymore. Of course, that reflects the game at large because everywhere you go in this game, there's people. There's people in the hotel, there's people at the amusement park. You're never alone in this game, and Delfino Plaza is a great example of that. See, I'm hanging out with the cops. They're gonna pepper spray me. I can waterboard people through their windows, and there's nothing they can do about it. Close your window at night, kids. You're lucky it's just Mario this time.
Hey, it's just me, P. Diddy. Come on, what's your problem?
I don't know, man. Something about this place just compels me to commit crime. You give me a Yoshi, I melt this guy's face off. Delfino Plaza really is just a great example of what Mario Sunshine is because it's tropical themed. There's a beach. And that damn durian side quest where you have to kick the durian all the way across the map because this fucking bitch is too lazy to do it herself is a literal mission sent from hell itself. And, you know, there's a lot of that to go around in this game, so they gotta make sure you're well adjusted early on. All in all though, this is just my comfort hub world. I could exist in this place for hours. You know, when you get into those late hours of the night talking to your friends on Discord about serious stuff, and you're just kind of running back and forth in Minecraft, not even doing anything, just running around in the game. That's what Delfino Plaza is for me. It's just so fun to hang out here, and that's the mark of a good hub world. Holy fuck, I'm coming. I'm sorry, I won't do that. The Comet Observatory. It's just beautiful, man. It's so pretty and captivating, and we're talking about the same thing here, right? I really like how the different sections of the observatory are just completely cut off from power unless you get the right amount of stars. Collect the power stars or you don't get to use the bathroom. It just creates a really cool sense of progression being able to see the power flood back into the observatory over time. And Luigi's here. This is the only hub world so far you could say that about. Unless you activated the secret in Mario 64 where you perform a seance in the courtyard to resurrect Luigi from the grave. But of course, you know we're here to talk about how this place reflects Mario Galaxy as a whole, so let's talk about that. Cue Good Mythical Morning intro.
You should be getting pregnant as young as possible. No. Hold on. Isn't that the message I'm going for? We need more teen pregnancy.
Mario Galaxy is a very isolating and lonely game at times. I mean, look at galaxies like Space Junk, where you're just floating along into the abyss. It's really calming and tranquil, but also kind of terrifying because you're trapped in outer space, all alone. And you'd think the Comet Observatory wouldn't feel that way because there's Lumas everywhere, Rosalina's there. All of the buildings around the observatory are modeled after typical rooms in a house, like a kitchen or a bedroom. I'm in Rosalina's bed.
I'm jaking it.
But for me at least, this kind of emphasizes the loneliness even more. Everything about this place feels so familiar yet different at the same time, and while it's beautiful, that also makes it a little unnerving for me. You're a stowaway on this ship, you're just along for the ride here. Story-wise, the observatory obviously has the most depth out of any of the hub worlds as well, because Rosalina's storybook literally tells the story of how she ended up in this position, how the Comet Observatory came to be, and how she became a mother to the Lumas. Meanwhile, Galaxy 2 has absolutely no story, but Miyamoto says it's the Majora's Mask to Galaxy 1, so everything's okay. Yeah, I'm a narcissist. How could you tell? This place is special to me. It's nostalgic, of course, because Galaxy 2 was my first 3D Mario game, the first Mario game that I ever beat at that, so I spent a lot of time here and I have a lot of good memories with it. I finally replayed the game after 10 years just a few months ago, and I think I finally understand what it is about this ship and about this game as a whole that's so special to me. So Mario lands on this bare planet and meets Lubba, the purple guy, who gives him complete ownership of this planet, transforming it into a ship modeled after his own face. Now, if this were a Kirby game, Lubba would definitely be like the secret main villain of the game, but it's not, so he's just some random shirtless guy, which I respect. Shirtless people are awesome. Now, on the surface level, this hub world doesn't really have all that much going for it, but you know, it's inherently smaller than all of the other ones. It's just a tiny little planet that you can run around on, but I do really like the vibe. I love how it feels so natural with the grass and the trees and the rivers. But you've also got stuff like the engine room with a badass collection of all your power-ups, which is just a really nice contrast that I love. But what I love most about Starship Mario is that you are the captain of the ship. You're behind the wheel and you're in control of things. You're not just tagging along for the ride this time. You're in charge and you're gonna go save that princess. I know some people don't like that the world map screen is linear in this game, but I kinda don't mind it because I feel like it emphasizes that feeling. You're always moving full steam ahead. And I feel like this idea really just encompasses why Galaxy 1 and 2 feel so different. Because they do, I'm not gonna lie to you. Galaxy 1 is very good at two things. One, making you feel lonely and isolated in outer space with some of the dark, treacherous levels out there. The game really leans into the space aesthetic hard in a way that Galaxy 2 doesn't. It also has some of the most epic moments in any Mario game ever, like the final cutscene where the universe is getting destroyed by a black hole. And Galaxy 2 is not either of those things. That's just a fact. But I don't even hate that, and I don't think either of these games are better than the other for being different. There are some people who really like to shit on this game because, oh, the skies are blue, it's not space anymore, it's so jolly, it's so happy, it's a normal Mario game. But given the context of everything that I've just said, it really feels like since you're the captain of the ship, you're in control, you're charging head on into that darkness of space and making it bright. Now, did anyone at Nintendo ever think about this when making the game? No, probably not. I'm just interpreting art, man, because you're never in the wrong for looking deeply into a game and finding meaning where there is none. That's what art's all about, man. And we haven't even talked about my actual favorite part of Starship Mario that really ties this symbolism into a bow for me. The thing that really resonated with me here is the sense of community. As you progress through the galaxies, you start to bring back some of the NPCs from those worlds and they start living on your ship. You form a little community of characters here, and that was always one of my favorite things as a kid. It really felt like I was going on a huge adventure and making new friends. But most of all, they're here because of you. They're choosing to stay on this ship with you as their captain because they believe in you. They know that you can accomplish your goals and they want to be there with you when you do. Galaxy 1 was such an isolating and lonely game at times, and it was incredibly daunting to be thrust into outer space like that. But in Galaxy 2, it feels like everything's gonna be okay. You have people on your side pushing you forward, giving you the strength you need to succeed. And that's something everyone needs. You're allowed to rely on others. In fact, sometimes it's the only thing that you can do to make it from one day to the next. Starship Mario, to me, represents taking control of your life as the captain, letting the bonds you forge with others empower you. And you can't control everything. That's just a fact. And it's really easy to start feeling helpless or lost, and to feel like everyone just wants to take your control away from you. And that's why it's so important to take control of the things that you can. The things directly in front of you in your life that you can change, that you can make a difference about. And the beautiful part is, you don't have to do it alone. If there's people who want to support you in your life, let them do it. Because that just might be the push you need. So never forget, you are not alone.